boost for them. And if they surround themselves with that kind of crowd, it'll help them. They'll push each other.
Well, it's like your dad, my grandpa, said that you'll be friends with whomever you're close to, like logistically, and probably spiritually too. But you can't be close to somebody spiritually unless you're close to them logistically. So if you're friends with people and you're doing stuff, if you don't have the same hobby, to me, it's if you don't work with the person, you don't have the same hobbies, or if you're not neighbors, you're not going to be friends with somebody. So let's say you're friends with somebody that doesn't work out at all, not just an atheist, but like somebody that's like a militant person that's against it. Good luck with your spiritual walk and being healthy, staying healthy in the gym. So, and I always say, like, and I think you and I talked about the group that gets together and has to go to the college and walk the stairs every morning with their fancy bottle of water. That's only going to last so long because it's so much work. So yeah, if you have people that are where you could talk about it, and some people say, oh, well, that person, all he does is talk about working out. Well, to me, sometimes that's what it takes. Mm-hmm. You have to be all in, 'cause what's the alternative, just to mention it in passing. So I don't think, because otherwise people that don't do it are you kind of start getting depressed because you think about, oh, I'm not doing it, or I used to be this, I used to be that. So I would rather, if you're going to err on the side of caution, I'd rather do it too much. Yeah. You can do it too much and then come back. Because, I mean, isn't it ultimately about being happy and adding to your happiness? I think, have you noticed somebody that, let's say that they're working out, they're all into it, that do you ever notice that somebody kind of goes to the next thing? They're like, okay, I'm fulfilled here, so let's, are they also trying to be happy in other areas, or or is it? Have you ever seen somebody just be totally fulfilled with working out, and that fills that void, or does it go to the next thing too? Like, do they take that habit and?
Okay, so basically asking, does it change your personality, and to what degree? I think basically you're still who you are. You're not going to be a happy person if you weren't happy before. In other words, working out won't change you from being unhappy to happy. You will have your temporary happy moments working out if you achieve a certain, like say, a certain standard of lifting X amount of pounds. But you'll still be a crabby person if you're crabby, and happy if you're still happy. But I don't think it's so much about happiness as it is a feeling of achievement and fulfillment, a satisfaction, and it's you against yourself. So, like for myself, for example, I like to document my progress over time, either with numbers and or pictures, so I can see how far I've come. And then for me, I'm competing against myself, and in doing that brings satisfaction, knowing that I'm reaching my goals. And it's, in that way too, there's always going to be somebody bigger, stronger, and whatever, and that's the reality of it. So if you do that game, you're setting yourself up for failure.
I just go to a different gym if there's people that are bigger and stronger.
Yeah, but I would say for myself, what if I want to influence somebody else to start working out, knowing they need to do this, probably I would suggest motivation would be like, show them some magazines or take them to Venice Beach and just kind of hang out there. It's like going to the concert, the car show. You will get interested if you physically go there. It's not enough to hear about it, to watch it on TV, but if you physically go to a place that showcases, say, working out or bodybuilding, even watching a competition, you will walk away probably a little different than before you went there. So once you go, I call it going to the car show of say whether it be an expo fair for new gym equipment, new supplements, or new ways to work out, and or watching guys that are professional bodybuilders. It's very interesting.
It's like advertising. If advertising didn't work, they wouldn't spend billions of dollars every year on it. You know what I mean? And that's all that is. Like, you look at the Supercross. You go to the Supercross, what do you see? You see Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha, KTM, Honda. I just want to say that I knew all the manufacturers. But it's if it didn't work, they wouldn't spend millions and millions of dollars. But guess what? They don't just put those banners up there and pay these guys millions just because it works. Because all these people, these 50,000 people that go to Anaheim Stadium and watch the race, they hear the bikes, they see the guys ride. Guess what they're going to do? That weekend, they're going to go to the motorsports and dealership, and they're going to buy a dirt bike, and then they're going to go and if it wasn't for, like you said, if they didn't go to these things, go to these races and hang out with people that did it, they wouldn't do it. Like right now, I got 2 dirt bikes just sitting in my garage because I don't hang out with people that ride anymore. We don't go to the races anymore. I don't really watch them anymore. I notice when I watch it on TV, I'm the only one watching it because my kids would rather just be on their video games. But I want to go riding after I watch it. So it's the same thing with working out. So it's almost like ahead of time, you need to tell yourself, look, to stay in shape, you don't just follow whatever. It's like, okay, go to whatever you're saying. If there's an event for bodybuilding, or your friends, hang out with your friends that are into it, just to help you stay in it. Because it's hard enough to do it without influence. So you definitely need all the influence you can, as far as that goes.
So the biggest challenge for, I guess, for any hobby, but see, bodybuilding and working out, it's different than riding motorcycles as a hobby, because riding motorcycles can actually be fun. I've never found fun in doing pull-ups or sit-ups, pushing weight. It's not fun, but it brings enjoyment to my life as far as satisfaction is concerned. And if you're smiling and doing these things, you're probably not doing the right workout. But that being said, well, let me back up. I've never seen a marathon runner smiling when they're running. They look like they're going through hell, but they'll die to do that race, because they'll suffer through it, knowing the satisfaction it gives them, and why they want to attain this sacrifice. It's hard to explain unless you've done it. You can't understand that satisfaction until you experience it yourself. The feeling of being not only healthy but being fit, it's undescribable. Plus it looks aesthetically pleasing, but that's not the motivator. It's about feeling good, and in doing so, you look good.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. But I always say it's the difference between happiness and joy. Like, joy is eating a piece of cake, but you eat a bunch of piece of cake and you feel terrible. And happiness is learning a piano or learning a new language. While you're learning Spanish, it's not very enjoyable. Like, I listen to all those stupid Rosetta Stone tapes or whatever, and you're supposed to learn a new language in 30 days. It's been 5 years, and I could tell somebody just to go to the back of the house and start cleaning. That's it. But I'm happier when I can speak a little bit of Spanish. So it's like working out. It's like it's not real fun, like you say, but it's satisfying. And I think Dennis Prager was always saying is nobody could ever be 100% satisfied. It's impossible. But at least you're on the road to doing something, and then it pays little dividends here and there. So it adds to your happiness, and as long as you know that going into it, you can keep on doing it.
I guess people define happiness different ways. We talked about happiness is maybe turning down that chocolate cake and not eating it bring you more happiness than actually eating that piece of cake, because you know, or you know you're not disciplined, but it's always there's all these challenges in your life, and if you know that you are in control of yourself, no one's gonna. You have you're your own boss, and you make decisions out of your discipline, not because you feel like it, because feelings will fool you.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. It's kind of like saying, even if you don't feel like being married, you still have to be married. You still
Right.
It doesn't matter what you feel like. You still got to do the right thing.
But trust me, it's hard to get up early in the morning and work out, especially after many years of it. Because what keeps you motivated? Why do you want to do it? And then you have certain people who might be somewhat envious of you. They say, "What are you trying to prove? You look good enough, But so, for myself, you always have to set goals to keep you going, and to reach that goal, you got to pay a price, and the price, in my opinion, is it's been worth it, because it requires sacrifices. So I challenge myself, am I disciplined enough to do this, to make all the sacrifices you have to make.
Yeah, well, you had me at, it's hard to get up early in the morning. Just that alone is hard to do. But
it's real quiet.
Yeah, and the thing about, like, especially with working out, it's, I always say with earning a business, most businesses struggle because as soon as you get all the bills paid, it's easy just to sit on the couch and watch TV. So to be like a super successful business, it's hard because now you can go on vacation, you can't stop, you can't pull off the throttle. So it's hard. So the same thing with working out. If somebody notices, and I fall into this trap too, it's like I notice I'm not overweight, I don't have a gut, I'm relatively healthy. So, when you got all these things that need your immediate attention, how do you keep on going? Because I have my fantasy of how I'd like to be or how I was, but it's like, okay, you cross the threshold of, okay, I'm not ashamed of myself, but it's like my hardest thing is, how do you keep on going? You know what I mean? To the next level.
Well, I'll give you an example of that. About 4 years ago now, my wife had cancer, breast cancer. Okay, so now,
lovely lady, by the way.
So here I am going to the gym, and she has cancer. Okay, so how do I handle all this? How do I deal with this? Okay, do I stop working out because, she's physically, she's going to start paying the price of this horrible disease, and I'm going to keep going to the gym like it's all about me, So it's another tough call, and how do you handle it, when it's not yourself? No, I don't live for myself, but yet I have to take care of myself in spite of circumstance. You just still do what you do. You just don't make it your God anymore. You don't make in the mirror your ultimate goal is to not stand for the mirror and ask the mirror who's the best of them all. So going back to my wife having cancer, because I love her so much, it's just, and I know that the last thing in her mind is going to the gym. She's trying to hold on to what she has. So,
and then you're probably thinking, by going to the gym, and is somebody going to translate that to, why am I taking energy or time away from her and going to the gym?
Right. They said, well,
because that's what I was saying. Just kidding.
I had someone say, well, if your wife can't do it and you're married, isn't that kind of wrong for you to be doing your own thing while she's staying at home and just trying to survive, with the chemotherapy and all that? And
can't believe Tony said that.
I know, but in my own heart of hearts, I know how I look at it. It's almost like, it's something I do. It's like I still, take a shower and I still brush my teeth and I still take care of myself. So I go to the gym, and basically my my whole reason for going gym is just because that's what I do. I'm not focused on